Well, Rick, coming out of practice today and heading into the game tomorrow, you're riding 3 wins. How are you feeling?
Well, I actually really like the practice day. Coming off a day off, we worked on some D zone stuff. Actually, Footy put a really good video today about how to protect the ice a little bit better in front of our net. It's really clear, and I thought the guys took it in practice and applied it. So, looking forward to see how we start to get better at that.
Hard to get a rhythm when you haven't played. He hasn't played a whole lot yet.
I think you can say that a lot of teams, summer off, come back training camp. Usually, the first 10 games, there's some things that you got to work on, coverages and stuff like that. But the good thing is we're getting some offense, which is good, and it gives us time to get our defensive structure back. But I don't know if that's the case. But when you get time, don't play as many games, you get a lot of practice time, which I like.
Why do you think it takes, like a lot of teams in the league, a lot of high-scoring games with the D-zone coverage? It's not like they've forgotten it all. Is it emotional stuff, too, that they aren't as desperately to defend?
I think the league over the last couple of years evolved where you're seeing a lot more motion up top going down low. So, sometimes you have 4 guys up top and then, 2 defensemen. I've seen 2 defensemen go down low and a forward back them up. So there's different coverages they're throwing at you now. Coaches around the league are smart. They're going to throw different. So I think for us, it really doesn't matter what they're throwing at us. We still have to stay in our structure. I think we're switching too much. I think there's a little bit of newness from some guys, from different systems. You got to throw that into play. So I just think that I've seen a little bit better over the last couple of games when it comes to D zone, but I just think something that we got to really continue to work at.
How close is Dakota to shedding the non-contact jersey?
Yeah, I think right now it's really close, and it's really gonna. I hate to say it, going to be up to him. I think you take it to a certain level when you're cleared, or he hasn't cleared yet, but where he's going to go. I feel a lot better. So I think a lot it's going to be on him when he's really ready, but we still got to prepare him on the ice.
Have you seen, I know you talked about it, I think in Chicago, about him needing to bump and whatever.
Yeah.
Have you seen progression in the last couple of practices where he looked pretty much fully involved out there now?
Yeah, I want to see him these 2-on-2. He needs a few more practice of really getting in there. Getting hit from behind a little bit. I think you can skate a guy as much as you can, but if you don't get action around you, from behind you, in front of you, I think that's the next step for him.
What have you seen from Brandstrom so far?
I think every game he's improved. His confidence level with the puck. The one thing I like, there's about 2 or 3 times in the last game where he skated out of trouble. He just didn't throw it off the glass. There was a couple windows for him to skate it out, and he did. That's big. You know how Hughes can do it a lot. I think he has a little bit of that in him where he can skate himself out of trouble.
Extra he's going to have to do for, say, when Fulmer comes back to keep himself in the lineup?
For Branson?
Yeah.
Well, Footy showed a clip today where he had a bigger guy going to the net and he boxed the guy out. If he can do that, he's going to stay in the lineup. I think just because he's a smaller guy, you can still get in front of people, but I just think he's improved every game.
Could he be a right side option? I know you like lefty righties, but if you want to keep him in the lineup, could he be a right side guy?
Well, it's funny you asked that because we checked analytics. He did play the right side for some games and did okay, analytically. So that's something that we could experiment with and play on the other side. Yes.
Rick, Pittsburgh's in town. McDavid comes out and says that Team Canada, Crosby should be the captain. What is it about him and that makes, why is he so important to the league in your opinion?
Yeah, it's not just, you're talking about one of the, McDavid, best player in the league. When I went to that Four Nations summit we had, I remember Doug Armstrong said it's unanimous. All the big guys said that Sid should be the captain. It's not even McDavid. So I think he's the quote unquote the godfather of that team. So I don't think anybody would want to wear the C other than Sid, because just his approach to the game, what he means to the game, and what he means to his teammates.
And we're coming up to the 15th anniversary of that 2010 Olympics. What is it about Crosby that he's been able to just keep that longevity for so long at being a top player?
His obsession of the game, to get better, to stay with the big guys in the league. He does. Even was he 38? I don't know. Is anybody know? 37? Yeah, he'll kill me. But I just think that anytime you mention top players, he's still there at 37. It's amazing. So I have so much respect for him, the way he plays and approaches the game.
Practice. What are your thoughts on why that has just kind of resonated?
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. I mean, it was great practice again today. No, we want guys to practice hard against each other, and sometimes you're going to get that, and you move on from it. So it's not even a big deal.
Well, JT, just heading into this next game, coming off 3 wins, how are you guys feeling?
It's nice to get some wins strung together, but like I alluded to last game, we have a little better. I think we can tighten up some holes in our defense in a sense of coverages and stuff we were really good at last year. I think we just spent a lot of time this last week in practice trying to shore some things up, but we have confidence again. We just need to make sure we do it again and again.
Seemed to be some high spirits in practice today, a lot of hooting and hollering, a lot of big grins. Does it feel good to be back on the ice after a day off?
Yeah, I think that's just Gar, but yeah, he always brings that. It was a long road trip, so it was nice to get back with the fam yesterday and enjoy a day off after a hard practice. But we're definitely ready to come back in front of our home fans and play again.
Was that a plan practice there with the power play at the end, or is that something that just kind of you guys?
Our coaches are great with us being able to be like, hey, let's get together and run through some stuff. And all the guys that kill love doing it against us. So it's good for both, not just for PP. And just trying to be a little more automatic. And obviously we've moved around a little bit lately, so we just want to have a little more reps with the day off going into the game tomorrow.
How are you feeling physically? I mean, obviously we saw you have that issue in last weekend, but
yeah, I feel pretty good. Obviously, this has been a good time frame to take some steps this last week to try to, do the right things when we only have one game in like 5 or 6 or 7 days, whatever it was. So, feel good. It's coming along. Looking forward to tomorrow.
You're spending more time on the right half wall now on the power play. Just how different are kind of like the reads and how different is it to kind of run the power play from that side, and what are you kind of maybe adjusting to?
Yeah, it's different. It's the same, just the hands. We scored a lot of goals last year with me and Brock and beating the top and Quinn shooting and Petey did great job at the net last year. Obviously, the last game, the 2 goals we scored with good net front presence. So we're not going to be in set positions. Like we're trying to be a little more mobile and everybody kind of fill in. And Gar does a really good job of being really active and causing distraction for the diamond PKs and. It was good last game again, so I think we just have a little more confidence maybe with that look right now. So we're just trying to take a couple extra shots with the day off yesterday.
With Pittsburgh in town, a lot of talk about Crosby and just his longevity in the league. You played against him a lot in your career, so what is the key to shutting him down and what makes him such an effective player?
Well, it's obviously I look up to him, Pittsburgh guy. As I grew up since I was 10, 12 years old, watching him come into the league and be one of the best players, in the game for his majority of his career or his whole career, and I feel like he just gets better and better. It's pretty amazing. So, tons of respect for him, and in a sense, you just try to play your game. I mean, it's like any other good player in the league. You're gonna take care of the puck and be on the right side defensively, and try to make it as hard on him as you can. He's gonna, he's a special player. He's obviously gonna get looks, so we just got to minimize those on the outside.
Games. Face-offs. He's very much known as a great face-off guy. If you take face-offs against him, what's so hard about beating Sid in the draw?
He doesn't waver. He doesn't change. He has a couple things up his sleeve. He gets away with a lot in the dot. I mean, those are all things that are very helpful. He's really strong. So I try to do a lot of the same things. It just depends on if you get on a roll, you kind of feel that, and he's really good.
A couple games with Jake now on your line. How do you feel the chemistry is working with him as a winger?
It's getting better. I think we have more in the games in a sense of ozone possession time. I think we've been kind of one and done, and it's kind of frustrating. So I think we're looking to have a better game as a line.
A few days on from you and PD getting into it, exchanging words of practice. Do you think it's really worth talking about?
No.